but then I got a little update on our scammer boys over here on scam group number, I don't know how many it's been now. So this is another one. And I unfortunately can't show you the other one anymore because it's been nuked out of existence. Right, this was the other guy, the guy that's the same guy right here, and they got straight banned, right? And that was the other guy who's still up, even though he's a fucking impersonator, which also set up the scam of this dude who got community banned, right? So this is all fine and good, right? But then the guy that we just looked at, the first one, made a new group, and it's just the same thing. Right, the same profile crap and blah 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 and whatever the hell. And they always have 2 accounts running this. So you have this other guy down here as second admin. And I just go out of my way, just add them. Even though I changed nothing about my username or whatever. And I assume that this is the same guy from that other group that got nuked out, right? Because that dude got added to the group that got nuked ultimately. So the new account that was left over made a new group, then added another account. So there's always 2 in case one gets nuked. They can keep re-adding admins in, right? So I assumed it's the same guy, and they don't care. They just, it's the same spiel that I did with the same guy. Probably the same guy last time, right? With the same non-GIF picture right here. And he just ran his shit database crap, right? And then I got another cool trade offer from some database account for cases and this other shit again. And surprisingly enough, these database accounts they use for these attempted scams get nuked away really fast. Like it took like a couple hours, and this was already community banned, which is good. But the damage they do before this gets nuked away is probably enough to make it worthwhile. Just continuously creating accounts, and we see that much on over here. Right, this is this, and that's the same person, right? And that's the other guy. If we look at that other guy, that name is also a Peel database, or has been before. And I was watching randomly throughout the day, in the week, what went in and out of this backpack. And I was checking it over here, right? So this is all the item shit that went in. And I'm not sure if this Australian Mediga Tomislav also was part of a scam, but I assume so, because every item since then has been removed from the inventory. The backpack is really shitty at loading, but you saw it's empty, right? So I traced a couple of these items through the history on Backpack.df, right? And there's like, I think 3 people I can definitely say that got scammed with a 99% accuracy from my side, right? If we just look at these items right here. These are all kind of valuable items. They all came from this guy. But they also randomly throw in some shit items. And I assume they do that so it doesn't look too suspicious when they come with their item verification and clearing thing. So it's not just, hey, why is it just these high value items that need to be cleared, right, in the scam thing? So they also add like random skins in here, I assume, which are part of the scam as well. Even robot parts were in this, right? And they all come from the same guy. And the value ranges from a couple of keys, right? This whole thing was like 10, 20 keys maybe in total. Right, it's just from this guy. And that's this guy right here. Okay. And I did something that I usually don't do. That is reach out to people. And I don't know if I want to continue with this because it's kind of weird, right? Adding people just to talk to them about the shit. Can this fucking load? Fucking useless shit. Come on. Right, I talked to them. No, fuck. This clicks, yes, hooray. Professional. I talked to them, and they just told me to fuck off. So it's kind of like a mixed bag in a way. I don't really want to rub salt into the wounds, but I kind of also want to figure out how and where this all comes from, right? Because they have like no relation to anything. Like I can't see his groups, but I want to know where they ultimately like find these people. Usually it's like random ads and there's some group crossovers maybe, but I'm not really sure. But I don't know. So yeah, this is the second guy. There's also just random weapons in here. Before there's some more expensive things like this Dragon Slow, and we can already see that they all got liquidated through another bot to probably valuable item, like maybe keys or extra money. I don't know how these bots work, and then they get sold or directly sell this for money. I don't know. I'm not a bot trader or trader in general, so I can't really determine how that all goes down. But all of these, right, 2 keys over here on this, various levels, and this guy, I also saw this happening. Kinda live. I screenshot this as well. Where is it? Right. They were friends with that scammer. So they were added by them, or they added them, and then the whole scam happened and they fell for it. So I'm kind of certain that's actually the scam that's been happening. There's just some Russian here. Unrelated, it seems. And then you got other items coming out of scrap bots, so I assume they liquidated some items that they couldn't get rid of as fast or quickly and then traded for something that's easier to liquidate afterwards, because that item they traded for is already gone in that other bot again. It's my assumption anyway. And then you have another guy over here. There's also some that just have moved quite a bit already again, right? Through other bot systems or sales systems. But it's a bunch of various items of any value, really. Like some really just pick the valuable stuff out and some other store and some other things, right? And they are still friends even with that scam account, despite them even adding it to their profile, right? Elena scammed me, and then they have their profile linked right there. Which is kind of stupid in a way. But this one thing that I also kind of find weird. Like this last guy also used the name Keith. This is called official 2025 Keith, and they also introduced themselves, I think, as Keith or something, even though the username is something entirely different, and I don't know. I mean, it's just a random account they used to go back to scamming shit. And then you have number 3 that I can definitely say got scammed, because it's the same spiel, the same guys getting items from one guy and the other. And yeah, from Russia, so the Russians don't stop from their own people either, right? They just steal. And I think, are they still friends with that scammer? Yeah, they're also still friends with that scammer. So maybe they're just trying to get answers from this person still, where the items are or whatever. Maybe that's why they still have them. But yeah, 3 people getting scammed, and I can't do shit, right? Other than report these groups. And, you know, Steam support is always like, yeah, we're acting on reports, right? We're totally doing that. And they might, but it might take like a week or 2 or 3 or 4, or they might not at all. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait, see if this ever gets deleted, and I'll keep you all updated if the time ever happens this year when this group actually fucking gets banned or nuked, or these people get dealt with like they should be dealt with. But yeah, that's the problem with Steam, right? It's so easy to make this and then fill it up with bots again, because all these accounts are just scam accounts, spam accounts, whatever you want to call it, bot accounts. Once again, and I also went through this group. This time I didn't do what I did last time and used the QR code people, right? Where I looked through roughly 50 accounts of the first group, right? This got nuked. Also added some group sizes on top of here, right? But this was all the overlaps from that first scam group system that got nuked out of the way, and there's a lot of single groups in here for some accounts, which are probably hijacked accounts. They joined a bunch of groups before, so why would they care if they're still in those groups, right? And that's the other group that I looked over, which is the Make It to the Morning or whatever the fuck, right? So I sourced them all from here. There's even some people in here in orange that are already community banned in that group. And we got some interesting returnees over here with CS2 trade. This Bund group seems to be mostly every account associated to, which is just an empty nothing group. At least it doesn't say anything, right? It's just a bunch of accounts and then nothing, so it's more like a bot hub or whatever again. And we got the usual suspects over here with Pure Trade, some other Russian thing, Clear Trade, Schwarzschild. Then there's 3 groups from that other scam group system, and the Johan squad's in here again as well. And then over here we have another system of 6 groups that continuously show up more or less all the time again. And there's also some outliers from the Chinese QR thing over here that they also joined as well. Then there's some other groups that I don't really know what they're for. I think these might be like a fishing net in a way, where they just have random groups that might seem interesting to some people to join, and then maybe get people from that group to scam them or something. I don't know, but it's really small groups with like 100 people in it mostly, and it's kind of nothing in burger in there as well, but there's still kind of a lot of overlaps here. So I don't know if that's just one guy getting hijacked that was in that group and then it spread from that group and had hijacked more accounts over there. I can't really tell. Right, like for instance, this is just recently created April 19th, right? So it's nothing old. They link some stuff here about Russian Telegram and some Discord, which I don't know, if you land in a Steam group and then you get linked to somewhere else, probably shouldn't do any of that, right? Just take your fucking hands off of that. It's kind of older, I don't know, but as you can tell, more Russian shit. I don't know what's even being said in here. Nothing else going on. But it's also not a very old group, so not sure. And this one's kind of an older one. Has a lot more people, and this might just be turned into a scam group at some point or whatever to make it more seem more realistic, because it's an older group, and why would an older group be scamming and blah blah blah, who knows, right? So yeah, and since I went through actual accounts with actual profile pictures or no profile pictures and not just QR stuff. There's also more outliers in here, which is just more single groups than in the other one. There was one interesting thing. What did I write down here? Chinese QR activity. Yeah, that's just some strange things that I just ran across. Right? This is group from 2019, and then suddenly at March of 2025, somebody was just like, "Hey, she over here was just like, you know what? Have some Chinese crap," and then you have this cool fucking QR thing in here, right? With probably advertising some other random China scam or whatever the hell. So yeah. There's also some Dead Oblique, there's some Masonry again, which was in the other one as well. God showed up like less in here because it's actual accounts and it's not Chinese things. So I think that was more on the Chinese QR thing side. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see where everything goes, where it comes from, and it's just an insane amount of probably bot accounts, like I don't know, 100,000, 200,000. That just in like a couple days you can definitely tell that it's just bots, so right, and it's all just Galbinzi crap. Yeah, cool, and Steam, if you go to groups, which is crazy, right? If you go to groups, it's not a new thing. If you want to report a group, you don't even have the choice of actually reporting it for like theft or item stealing or phishing or whatever, right? You just have harassment, spamming invites, which it doesn't do. Oh my god, impersonation, spamming, extra one, advertisement links, offensive profile or avatar, piracy or cheats, right? Even though the groups primarily probably get used for just scam shit, we don't have an option for that, right? And then Steam support is like, just pick something and then explain it in whatever the fuck you write into the group thing, into the report thing. And then the people at the other end are supposedly, you know, able to figure it out or whatever. But okay, I mean, you could have various threat levels assigned to these options as well. Let's say harassment or whatever. Probably important, right? But not as important as people getting their shit stolen, right? So if you had the option to select, hey, how about you give me a scam option, right? Theft option or something. Maybe that could get looked at before the other stuff in a priority queue, maybe. But we don't know that there's something like this. Maybe they have something like this, but we don't have the option. So you might be picking something that has lower priority and then still explain it about the scam thing, and it just goes under in the fucking ocean of reports or whatever. I don't know. It sucks. I mean, Steam definitely needs to act way faster on this, or have other measures when you just create groups or whatever with scams. And the easiest thing would probably be to just, remove the steamcommunity.com/mi as directly linking to your own account as an option, right? So you can't even use this in a scam, but at the same time, would that really do anything? I mean, they would just have to go in here, and instead of copy pasting the shit every time, they would have to paste in the account of the person that they're trying to steal from, which would be extra work for the scammer side, right? Which would be a good thing, but is it really that big of a deterrent at the end? I don't know. So yeah, but they would need to act faster to ever stop people from falling to this for this shit. Because if this group gets nuked, they just make another one, wholesale, copy paste this crap, just invite these fucking thousands of bots in here again, and then just do the same thing. Hey, private, do the spam comments, yeah, or fucking private so nobody can leave a comment on it that says, hey, this group is scamming you, and yeah, the system is there, but it's all too slow, and that really sucks. And then even when you go to Steam support, they're all like, please use the report features. Okay, please. When the report features do fuck all. Cool. Really cool. Gotta say.